Hello,
Okay.
everybody, and welcome to a brand new series. I am Michael with M&J Games, and I am here with Corey from Webb Gaming. Corey, how are you doing?
Hi, Michael. I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Doing great, man. Yeah, so we together kind of came up with the idea to start a collab park. Neither of us have done this before, so it's going to be challenging and a lot of fun at the same time. And so he gave me the run or the reins first, and so we kind of came up with the idea of kind of wanting to have a forest style park. Um, about a month ago, I went to Silver Dollar City, and so I really got some inspiration from there because I just love the beauty of it and kind of how the park was, and that also kind of made me want to do a park like that. And then Corey had the idea of making it a little more challenging and trying to create an Alton Towers inspired idea where we can't build above the tree line. Um, so yeah, that's what we're gonna run with. So what are your initial thoughts so far on what I was able to do to kind of start the park?
Yeah, so I mean, it looks great, absolutely great. The car park is sort of a perfect size, ain't it? Because I mean, I don't think we want to do anything too massive with this park. I think it's really going to be a medium to low budget park, isn't it?
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
and so having this sort of size car park is great. Um, I love the entrance building. I've seen it over there, and it looks great. I love the look of it. But this idea that we've put together with not being able to build above the tree line, this is going to be the most challenging part, but the most exciting because it's going to test our skills with terrain work, especially, and obviously theming as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm quite excited to get into that.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm really excited to see what he does with the park over the next week or so. Yeah, so just kind of give you a quick run through of what I worked on real quick. I still need to do kind of at some point kind of the main like entrance gate and exit gate and stuff. But I chose the Alpine Park, and the reason why I chose that was because I felt like it fitted, or it fitted. That's not really a word, but fit perfectly with our style that we were wanting to do. Um,
Yeah.
and so I just chose the Alpine, and I kind of had the idea, and I know we talked about it, and kind of like the Thorpe Park concept of having kind of all the parking lot and everything on a um, separate island in a sense, right? Or you walk across a bridge. So I remember when we were looking at the wow, I can't speak. Parking lot, and we're trying to figure it out. Corey came up with the idea of trying to have it instead of it just being square, rectangular, kind of having it curve a little bit. And so that's what I tried to do here. And it was hard trying to get away of how you can naturally have the path kind of go through. And so where I've got these buses on the side, I don't think it's ideal, but it's good for right now, and we can always change that up as later on. And then I just kind of put a lot of trees around because obviously the idea is supposed to be like you're in a forest or a really heavily wooded area. And then I wanted to put the fencing all around, just to kind of get the idea that you really are secluded. And so now I'm going to start showing some video of like right when you come in the park, and so I think it looks really cool. You got this fencing around, and you really can't see anything other than all these trees. Like you can see a little bit of the entrance building, um, and yeah, and I'll show you what it looks like at night in a second. And as you can see, we're still working on the concept for the entire entrance here. And that building on the right doesn't necessarily have to stay. I was just trying to kind of map out kind of, okay, where would it go? What would it look like? Um, but yeah, this entrance building, like you said, I think it worked out well. Took me a long time to try to figure out with the style that I wanted. But I like kind of doing the multi-color along with the different types of wood because I think that really kind of brings it together, right? And then I've got these turnstiles that I created in my Canyon Valley Park, and then when you come through, you've got this bridge to go across. And if there's a color that you feel like works best or better than this, we can definitely change that. I did have it brown at first, but I felt like it was almost kind of was shiny because I used temple pieces to make this bridge, since they are so bulky and very versatile. But I think it looks good. What do you think about the bridge?
No, it does. It looks exceptionally good, and I do like the support structure on it. The way it sort of curves over. I definitely. What did you use to make that?
Sorry,
Pipe or rod?
yeah. Sorry, repeat that question that you said.
Um, what was it that you used to make the structure?
Okay, yeah. So I'll show you what I use. Yeah, so basically the entire structure is these temple gold block. Um, and I put them, like, even the ones that are going diagonal and stuff like that. And then the next thing I did was, it took a little bit to try to get it as good as possible. I just used the coaster supports, the longest coaster supports I could find to represent the beams. And then, the hard part was trying to make sure to get the pathing as symmetric as possible on both sides. And it's not perfect, because you can see how this part over here is a little different than over here, right? But that's super hard to do. And then I decided to continue the temple block pieces kind of as like a barrier, because I didn't really like how, I didn't want to have just the normal fencing, because I didn't think it worked really well for this idea. But yeah, so really happy with how it turned out. And yeah, so is there anything else that stood out to you, or anything else you want to mention?
No, I like it. I mean, a lot of people will probably have seen it already from the title of the video, but we do have a name for the park already. I don't know if do you want to let people know what the name of the park is?
Oh yeah. I meant to do that earlier and forgot. Yeah, the name of the park is Avery Park, or Avery Forest. Sorry, Avery Forest. So Corey came up with that one. It's when we were talking, I was mentioning the idea of, like, hey, how do you want to do kind of like a forest style park, or like alpine style? And he's like, yeah, that sounds great. How about this name? And so I think it works well. And like you said, we're gonna really try to have this challenge us, because we don't want to build above the tree line. And so it's really gonna have us working with a lot of terrain tools to build coasters, and using maybe coasters to where, I don't know whether it's launch coasters or whatever it might be, to where they're not as tall. And if you've seen any of my parks before, you know that I like to make tall coasters. So this will be a good welcome challenge for me. But yeah, man, super excited, super pumped. Appreciate you wanting to do this with me. And so I'm going to show just a video real quick while you're talking, or if there's anything else you have to say, of what it looks like at night.
Yeah, no problem. So I think with the structures, or the structure of this series, I think we're aiming to get a video out, or an episode out once a week. I think it's going to be on a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Michael's from the USA and I'm from the UK, so our time zones are a little bit different. But for me, I think we're looking to upload on a Wednesday around 6 p.m. in the UK, which I think makes that about 12 p.m. your time, doesn't it, Michael?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that works for me, because that's usually around the time I like to do some videos, because I know that's kind of a good time for me here, and it's also a good time for all of my fellow Planko friends who live in the UK or in other European countries. So yeah, it works for me. And like I said, I mean, we're gonna try our best to get one out every week. Hopefully we'll be able to do that. So I'm really excited though to see how this turns out.
That's it. And obviously, also with the structure of the videos, we are going to try and keep them as short and sweet as possible. So we're doing it on a sort of basis where obviously one week Michael will have the park, the next week I'll have the park, and we'll sort of showcase what's been built and what's been done. There may be the exceptions when building roller coasters, for example, where we may do a short time lapse. But for the time being, it's going to be sort of mainly showcasing what's been built in the park that week.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, man. So is there anything else you want to discuss or disclose for now when you get to work on the park for the next week, or you want to keep us all in suspense?
Well, let's just say I've got some good ideas. I just hope that they suffice in this park. So I guess you'll have to come back next week to find out.
All right, sounds perfect to me, guys. And as always, we really appreciate you. you know, watching the video, and hopefully you follow along with us as we build this series. Remember, this is Michael from M&J Games and Corey from Webb Gaming. The information is below, so make sure to, for our YouTube channel, so make sure to check out all the other creations that we have, or all the other videos that we've made. And as always, make sure and hit that like button, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.